Good afternoon, 3rd Platoon. The time is now 14:03. We are a standard or rifle platoon. In addition, we will have a UAV, a team attached to us, and 60mm mortars that are in direct support of our operation. So our AI, our area of interest is bounded by Oak Creek Canyon to the west, I-17 on the east, and extends north to the 71 east-west grid line, approximately to the area of Willow Springs Interchange. So our area of operations, to the north is going to be Blowout and Hope Tank. To the south is going to be our platoon boundary right here. To our east is going to be our I-17 and our LOA, and then to our west is going to be our patrol base. So this area right here, this is our area of operations. So terrain, medium density pine forest with minimal underbrush. There's a network of unimproved dirt roads throughout which provide for slow speed vehicle movement for tactical wheeled vehicles. The enemy have these tactical wheeled vehicles. There are also obvious patrolling routes. Terrain is rugged and hilly but passable for dismounted movement throughout our area of operations. A key terrain obstacles, the forest and steep terrain prevent vehicle movement off roads except in few clearings. Cover and concealment. The forest provides concealment from overhead observation drones. Streets provide sufficient cover for dismounted personnel from small arms fire. The many small hills, ridgelines, and valleys provide opportunities for concealed movement to within 500 meters, even if the enemy holds the high ground. Observations and fields of fire. The lack of underbrush allows for the observation and direct fire engagement up to 300 meters within the forest during daylight, about half that night using NVGs. The trees restrict the effectiveness of suppressive fire much beyond 100 meters and inhibit the use, but do not prevent the use of guided weapons. Since the high ground is forested as well, provide little observational advantage. Avenues of approach, series of unimproved roads west and north of objective. We will not be using roads. We will be traveling mainly north along the platoon boundary line in this direction. So the key terrain is objective Talon itself. They're located on a hill, and then this open clearing to the west, southwest of the objective is key terrain. Effects of terrain. Terrain allows for freedom of movement of our force, and good use of terrain relief can allow concealed approach to our objectives. The unimproved road networks means our company trains could keep with within our attack. However, they increase the risk of detection because the enemy could use them as well. So weather. On May 4th, the high is 17. The low would be about 43 degrees because we're operating at the night and early morning. Wind is 12 miles per hour. Visibility 6 to 7. Cloud cover 5 to 10%. So BMNT, which is our NLT time, is at 0504 and illumination is at 79%. So enemy forces in our area of interest is the 3rd company of the 1st Battalions. So there are 3 enemy platoons conducting a reverse slope defense, and the platoon and these defensive locations, which are located around right here where our other platoons will be operating, have observation posts as well. So in our AO specifically, we have 1 mechanized infantry squad with a BMD located right here. They have an enemy combat outpost. This is their BTR-80 command vehicle and their 2 mortar positions. So based on this key terrain, they occupy the hill and the southwest fields. We're going to assume that the enemy squad is located more to the south. The enemy squad is located facing this field more to the west. So this area is open from enemy observation. So their most likely course of action is that the enemy mechanized infantry squad will defend their the combat outpost and the combat outpost. The squad will be facing west, and then there's also in our area of interest as well a platoon from the 1st company conducting a feint attack. Not a feint, but a screen right in this area. So for most likely, that platoon won't be assisting them, but the most deadly course of action is that this platoon will immediately assist that squad on objective Talon. So friendly forces. So from the battalion mission is to attack to seize objective Duke in order to defeat enemy blocking positions on I-17 so that the 1st Brigade combat team can rapidly advance to clear en route to objective Ironsign. And that his intent is to outflank the enemy overwatch positions in order to defeat enemy forces there so that the breaching operation can proceed without enemy direct fire engagement. Your key tasks: defeat the 2nd company, prevent enemy counterattack, complete the initial breaching operation, So our company, and then his end state is enemy defense on I-17 breached within 1 hour of the commencement of the attack. So our company mission is Bravo Company attacks to defeat enemy forces on objective Crawl and Wing in order to prevent their interference with breaching operations by Charlie 237 Armed Regiment to clear 117. On order, continue the attack north to clear enemy forces within 3 kilometers west of I-17 in order to prevent any interference in the use of the route by affiliating forces. His intent is that given our combat power, he wants us mainly to use the element of surprise in the terrain, which we're going to do. Key tasks: destroy the enemy combat outpost and objective Talon, that's us. Keep the enemy's main defense focused on I-17, main attack on Claw, fix enemy force at objective Wing, and prevent elements of the 1st Company from counterattacking against us while the defeat of 3rd Company is complete. End state: enemy defense on the west side of I-17 are defeated, and enemy is unable to interfere with the breaching operation of I-17. Mission to adjacent units. 1st platoon will be attacking objective Claw, 2nd platoon attacks objective Wing and they'll be handling the company's EPW, that's more to our south, and 3rd platoon Bravo Company 237 AR launches a fan attack up I-17 into the enemy blocking positions. Reinforce 2nd, then use us as a reserve. Civilian considerations. Few of the civilians who reside in this area before the invasion have mostly migrated south to escape the occupation and combat. The few who remain are friendly to our forces but will likely remain in their homes to avoid potential injury and crossfire. And we have 2 attachments, 2-man UAV team and the 60mm mortars in direct support. And our assumption is what I explained is how that enemy squad will be facing west. So our mission. 3rd platoon, NLT BMNT 04 May attacks and seizes objective Talon in order to take out the enemy company command post and support 1st and 2nd platoon as they attack the main defensive line and set up a hasty T-fence and to defend from an enemy counterattack. So my intent for this operation is that we attack